Welcome to your Wordless podcast, the space where we redefine success, self-worth, and transformation. I am Nick Nieras, the soul-centered architect of transformation, helping you unlock your highest potential and build a legacy beyond limits. Now, whether it is self-mastery, career breakthroughs, or wealth creation, this is where change begins. Now let's dive in. Hi, Dr. Forbes Riley. How are you? Good evening to you.
Well, can you imagine that we're both sitting talking to each other halfway around the world? I'm in Tampa, Florida, you're in Malaysia, and we're sitting like we're having dinner virtually. It's so cool, isn't it?
I love it. I love it. Thank you to technology. Dr. Forbes, I am so honored and excited to have you on my show. I'd like to introduce myself formally. My name is Nicolette. I am the creator for the podcast titled You're Worthless. Read that again, the juxtaposition of your very soul. Now, I'd like to thank you first for saying yes to be interviewed today. And for our listeners listening for the first time or subscribers already to my podcast, I'd like to read a bit of your introduction before we get right into business. So, hello, everyone. We have Dr. Forbes Riley here with us. In this episode, we will dive into the inspiring journey of Dr. Forbes, the globally renowned entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and queen of teach. Wow. With over $2.5 billion in product sales, Dr. Forbes has revolutionized the art of communication and sales, teaching over 42,000 students through her business academy to unlock confidence, monetize unique skills, and transform their lives. Now, from her humble beginnings as a shy girl in Long Island to becoming a fearless business powerhouse, Dr. Forbes shares how she overcame personal struggles and fulfilled her father's wish to help others achieve greatness. We will also explore her best-selling book, Pitch Secrets A to Z, her insights on emotional engagement and storytelling, and her innovative philosophy of Forbesing it, manifesting dreams and achieving the impossible. Now, there's one more paragraph. A National Fitness Hall of Fame inductee.
It sounds like I have done, you just need to talk to me. It sounds like I have done a whole lot of things, and I will
You have 3 decades in. Come on, Dr. Forbes. Inventor of the spin gym and a true visionary, Dr. Forbes proves that success is for anyone willing to pitch, persevere, and pursue their potential. Now get ready to be inspired by her transformative journey and powerful message of empowerment.
And by the way, this is what a spin gym is. This is my favorite fitness product on the planet. It's why I look and feel so strong, because I do this every day. And I've sold 2.5 million of those things.
Wait, hang on. How do we do that?
Get it to Malaysia. So this is a crazy thing. This is based on a Chinese toy, and it's based on the fact that it spins. And so if you want to use your arms here, you want to punch somebody, you want to work on your biceps, you want to work on your overhead, and you want to work on your arms, your chest, your abs, your back, your core. It does it all, and it fits in the palm of your hand. It's the most phenomenal product. I created it 15 years ago, sold millions, but I have not sold it in Malaysia.
You should.
I'm seeing a trip in my future.
Yeah, yes.
I'm also very intrigued by you. How exciting that you're doing this, and people are loving and listening to your show and wanting to know how to persevere, and you've met some very cool people.
Dr. Forbes, I want to give you a hug. I think I need you.
Everybody needs a little dose of Forbes Riley. And I will tell you what, Nicolette, are you in your 20s or 30s?
30s.
I am in my 60s. And I will tell you, I know, right? I don't look it for everyone watching. I know I don't. And I'm glad that I don't. And there's ways that I don't. And there's ways about staying young, feeling vital, and keeping current if you want to. You start out by saying that can you see my screen, by the way, if I shared my camera with you? Because I'll show you a couple of things that I think are very interesting when I tell my story. And I start with the fact that you mentioned my dad. And this is a beautiful picture of my father holding me at 1 year old. And I was the absolute apple of his eye. My father was an inventor, a dreamer, and a magician. And you mentioned earlier that you're working on becoming a hypnotherapist. Well, part of that, being a magician, has to do with how you mesmerize an audience. And I've been doing magic since I was a little girl. Well, when I got to elementary school, see my teeth were in a very funny way. And my mom who is from the Ukraine. She was a bit of a hoarder. She liked to hold on to things. They took an impression of my teeth. She kept it from 1968. See that? That's my teeth. Oh my gosh. And the doctor, the dentist, put me in braces from the time I was a little girl for
Uh-huh.
years. That's how bad my mouth was. So not only did I have a
Wow.
full set of braces as a little girl, but he put this thing in my mouth. And for 2 years, I couldn't talk at all. And so you're not very popular if nobody can understand a word you're saying.
Yeah.
Broke my nose in a baseball accident. I had a big,
That's you?
that's me. I was overweight. I had frizzy hair and I was not by all means very attractive. And I had very few friends. But
No,
Nicola,
you.
that I did have was I had a sense of wonder and dreaming. I loved television, I loved movies, and I was a very lonely little girl who dreamed a lot of traveling the world and being somebody. And that is a really important part of my story. Because as you're listening to this, wherever you are, it didn't go the way you wanted. The boy or the girl that you loved or wanted didn't want you. The job fell through. The economy is not as good as you thought. It doesn't, whatever it happened to be, none of you are living this perfect fairy tale. And that's okay, because I guarantee you that you are the sum of the obstacles you overcome. And I look at this little girl, and she's not happy. Now it gets worse. My father, who built that printing press, one day slipped, and he caught his left hand in the printing press right there, and it
Oh
ripped
no.
off the whole front of his palm. My beautiful father would spend 3 years in and out of hospitals, 15 operations, just so he could keep his hand and move it. And my mother turns to me one day and she says, "Kiddo, we have no money for college." That was the only dream I had, Nicolette, and it was a pretty big dream. Well, my dad's doctor offered to fix my nose. And a couple of days later, I woke up and I had this cute little nose, and my eyes looked bigger and my smile looked brighter. And she said, "You know, there is a Miss Teenage America pageant that's coming to our hometown. You probably won't do very well, at least before, but there's a scholarship to college." And you know what I did? I was 15 and a half, and I said, I'm going to save my family. I'm just going to live this dream. I got a hand-me-down bridesmaid's dress. That's the doctor that made it all happen. And I entered this competition, and I won. I beat out over 500 girls, and I went on to national television to become Miss Teenage New York. And this, you may not recognize him, but he is the Adam Sandler of the last generation. It's Bob Hope. He lived to be 100. He was one of the best comedians and biggest movie stars of his day. And there, this little ugly, awkward little girl is living her first dream that she set out to do. And then I said, you know, I'm going to go to college, and this is me at graduation. There's my mom, who was always overweight. I love her very much, but she did not understand food and exercise. And that's one reason I do what I do. And then I went off to New York. I ended up starring in my very first feature film. I've done movies and commercials, and I never got quite as famous as Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock. But the world had a little different plan for me. And I found out that if you believe in yourself and you set your sights on something, whatever it is, you can achieve it.
Wow. It's a mic drop moment, Dr. Forbes. It's like you knew what I was going to ask you. The first thing I was going to ask you, what was your backstory? It was like growing up as Dr. Forbes Riley, and you answered it all. Woo. Okay. Now, Dr. Forbes, from Long Island to the global stage and becoming queen of pitch, what are those pivotal moments that shaped your transformation into this globally renowned powerhouse and motivational speaker? Hi, I'm Nick Nieras, your host of the Your Worthless podcast. Now, if this real raw stories hit home, don't wait. Please follow, like, and subscribe my Spotify and YouTube. For bite-sized inspirational reels, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Don't wait, your transformation starts today. Thank you, and bye for now.
Oh, I just wanted to one day, you know how it goes. No, actually, the truth is, it's an interesting story. If you look me up on YouTube and you look up acting and Forbes Riley, you will see a lot of movies with me in it. But I never got the big roles. I always got kind of the medium roles. And then one day I walked into an audition and there was a pen on the desk and it said, "Sell me this pen." I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I don't like the idea of selling anything. And I looked at the camera and I said, you know, I was very young when I got to college. I was only 15 and a half years old. And my mother used to write me longhand notes every day, and I would race to the mailbox to get them. I felt that a pen like this could reach out and touch somebody's heart. So get this. I finish my pitch. I think I'm just going to go home. And before I can leave, this guy, his name is Body by Jake, he walks out from behind the camera, grabs my face and says, "You're going to make me a lot of money." What he meant was he was starting a new network. This is before the internet, before cable TV. And this is what he gave me.
24 hours. Get ready for the sports, fashion, and exercise. Hi, I'm Forbes Riley, and today we've got a great product for you. Take a look at this. Hi, I'm Forbes Riley, and that, by popular demand.
And what you're looking at, that's 30 years ago, is I instinctively knew how to, and I was not all that fit. I somehow knew how to sell fitness products. And Nicolette, you get a kick out of this, but I did 1,500 different episodes in 5 years. Now you see everybody selling things on TikTok. Well, this was 30 years before that. And if you notice, I'm always wearing a coat because I never had a very great body. And I covered it up, but I could sell and I could pitch. And it turned into, I mean, these are 16 of the products.
To explain how you can have gorgeous, more youthful-looking skin is Facial Magic's creator and international beauty consultant, Cynthia Rowland.
And it turns out I love talking about products. And I don't know why I know how to pitch, except that my dad, when I was growing up, had a garage full of inventions. And one day he said to me, "Kiddo, how do I get them out to the world?" I said, "Dad, I have no idea. I'm 8 years old." But when my father died, the trash men came and they threw all of his gadgets and all of his things just away. They were just garbage. And it hurt my heart. And for about 20 years of my career, I took other people, other inventors, and I put them on infomercials. I put them on TV. I sold their products on Home Shopping. I traveled the world between Italy and Germany and the UK and Canada to sell people's products. And I made a lot of money, and I made other people a lot of money, even though my dad never saw that. He passed away before all that became a success. And I have a great sense of pride that no matter what it is, you pick up an item, I will outsell you. And the reason is I have an understanding, and this is important for you listening if you're an entrepreneur. You get excited about what you do. You have got a great new vitamin or a great new fitness gadget, or it doesn't matter what it has, and you tell people, "You need this, you need this." No. Stop saying you need it. Nobody needs nobody needs anything. You never buy anything you need. You buy what you want. So play with me. Is there something on your desk or right behind you or around you? A scrunchie. Okay. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Sell me the scrunchie.
Becoming a podcast host was a natural extension of my second act. And after spending 15 years in the corporate world, I've transitioned to helping individuals overcome challenges like navigating tough relationships, career burnout, and aligning their mission with their soul's calling. By certifying as an RTT hypnotherapist and a lifestyle coach, I've made it my mission to empower people to recreate the life they deserve and building a supportive community through my podcast. Now let me ask, are you facing challenges like struggling to reprogram your mind to attract wealth, weight issues that feel like a constant yo-yo, insomnia or restless nights from daily worries, or just a lack of confidence in public speaking? If the answer is yes, visit www.thenicknearestholisticlifestyle.com and grab a free hypnosis audio of these common struggles. It's a sneak peek into how my coaching works. Are you feeling shy? Don't be, because I'm as real as it gets. Let's connect on Instagram and LinkedIn and start your transformation today. Huh? Well, this is a scrunchie. This is satin, so it doesn't tangle with your hair. So when you tie it up, you can see all your gorgeous décolletage and your accessories that you're wearing on your face.
Now I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Congratulations for doing that. And now may I coach you to make that better? Okay.
Yes, of course. Please.
Coaching is, don't ever start with the product. Because we don't care about a scrunchie. My hair is really short. I don't care about a scrunchie. Half the room doesn't care about a scrunchie because they're men. Set the stage so that we even know what you're talking about. Hey guys, have you ever been, either you're a girl with long hair or maybe you're a guy whose wife's got long hair and you're eating food or your kids are eating food and the hair is everywhere? That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. I have to tell you, to get the hair out of your face, you could put it behind your ears, but then you start to look like Dumbo. Don't do that. What I think you should do is this little scrunchie idea. First of all, you can wear it as a bracelet because it goes with any outfit. The one I have here is a beautiful raspberry, but watch this. In 2 seconds, Now you can eat your food, your noodles, whatever you're eating, and your hair's not falling around for sanitary purposes. If you don't have one, not only do you want to get one, but you want to get one for your sister, your daughter, your mother, and your best friend so that none of you get hair in your food. What do you think?
Oh my God.
You're like, all right, I want one. I want 5 of them.
Do you have different colors?
And that is how you do it. So obviously it's not quite that easy. It takes practice. It takes an understanding. And I love doing this. I'm not quite sure. I go back to the fact that I was alone for most of my life. I lived in my head. I had a pretend world. I wanted to be James Bond. I wanted to be adventurous. And I wasn't. I was stuck in my room. I was very lonely. And somehow I would play these games with myself. And it turns out that whenever it is I pick up, I can get you to want it. And it's been a very, very lucrative career. It turns out, who knew? Like I said, I just want to be an actress. The other fun thing is I still get to act. Now, there's something fun for your people. So, for example, and pitching goes into everything you do. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why did you read my entire bio?
Because I want people to know who you are.
So I love that. Let me ask you, do you think that they could really understand just listening to words, like words without pictures or words without, that they really got it? We heard you read it. But, right. That's why I show you visuals. Because nobody, and even though I appreciate it, and I loved how it sounded, and you were such a big heart, but people were like, I don't know who she is. Why do I care what she did in 2.5 billion? You hear words. And so I prefer words to paint pictures. And I prefer to and get people involved. So I might say, rather than just read the bio, I might say, hey, to my audience, you know that every week I work so hard to bring you people. I've got somebody from all the way across the world who's very famous. Anybody here want to hear from somebody very famous? Great, good. Everybody raising their hand. Now, what if I told you that she has 2.5 billion in sales? Come on, that's cool. Raise your hands, even though you can't see them, but you're engaging them. How about I tell you, you can go to YouTube, you can spend 20 hours watching her videos. All right, that's cool, right? And I would do it in a way that made the audience pay attention, not talking at them. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, when you involve people and you really listen and communicate, you're not just talking. You're not giving a speech. You're elevating people's hearts and minds and spirits, and you're getting them excited. And I would say to my audience, guys, what do you want to get out of today? I'm going to ask her a couple of questions, but I would love to, hear your thoughts, even though you may not be able to. But I would even pretend, hey, you know what? Susan just wrote here. Susan, thanks so much for watching and listening. Susan writes blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, people feel like they're part of the story. I do a lot of pitch TV shows. I have one on Amazon Prime right now called 60-Day Hustle. And we have a lot of young entrepreneurs who are all competing for $100,000 in prizes. And I find that people forget that you're human. They talk at you like you're a billboard. And I don't like how that feels, so I don't do it to other people. And I make you feel like you're part of the world. The other thing is, I created a new system. You know what an elevator pitch is?
Yeah.
So elevator pitch is kind of that silly thing when you got 20 seconds to pitch who you are and what you do, right?
Yes.
Well, I decided to redo that because at the heart of my heart, I'm a little shy. I would go to networking meetings and events, and somebody would say, so Forbes, what do you do? And I would say, I'm an actress and a TV host, and I have a new movie coming out, and I just wrote this book, and I've done, and I would just blah, blah, blah. And they would stand there, and I could see their faces that's so nice for you. And I thought, I have to find a system for this because it's not working. And then it dawned on me that when they ask you, what do? They don't care what you do. They care what you can do for them.
For them.
And that makes it a very two-sided conversation. So I have this whole little system, and I'm happy to give it to your audience. Would that be okay?
Yes.
All right. So it's called free gift from Forbes Riley. And what the gift is the entire, I sell this, guys, for almost $200, just so you know, but you're getting it for free right now. And it's the prompts. It's kind of like you prompt ChatGPT. It's, hi, everybody. My name is, I'm known as the word because, an example of what I'm up to and now what I'm focused on. And I'll tell you what, let's play a game here. Give me an occupation, any occupation.
An accountant.
An accountant. Couldn't be more boring, right? Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley. I'm known as the tax savings best friend because I grew up in a household where everybody in my world were accountants, so right-brained, but they didn't really spend time saving other people money. That's my goal. I want to be your best friend because I love crunching numbers. I know you don't, but if I could save you thousands at the end of the year, okay, I'm doing an online Zoom tutorial so that your tax season's coming up. Come on, be my best friend and let's make all those pennies count. Come on, it makes sense. No, it makes dollars. I'll see you there.
Oh, impressive.
So when people say, Forbes, what do? I say I'm known as the queen of pitch because after selling $2.5 billion of sales, having over 47,000 active students now, I take people just like you, like Nicolette and all of you listening out there, and I make your pitch memorable and actionable so you make more money and have more fun. Anybody want to listen to what I got to say?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what you should get whenever you get a chance to introduce yourself. Because Nicolette, you're going to introduce yourself to lots of people. And when you do, what do you say? You say, hi, my name is Nicolette, and what do you do?
I'm a chartered accountant turned podcaster and hypnotherapist.
Now, I wouldn't do that because I don't care about it. I would say I'm known as the magnetic
queen.
I'm known as the magnetic podcaster because I can take your message, put it on my show, and get you more clients. Would you like to know how we can talk? Now you've got somebody interested in sponsoring your podcast. They don't care if you're a hypnotherapist, not right now. Now, if you're just a hypnotherapist, hey, you know what? My name is Nicolette, and I'm known as the hypnotist champion. What does that mean? Because as somebody who's been studying hypnotherapy, because I personally wanted to know how the brain works, and you're going to give me some personal story about you, I now take you, if you're suffering from sabotage or procrastination, and in just one sentence, I can make you feel better about life. So you can do this with any occupation, and all of a sudden you become the most interesting person in the room. When you do that, you leave with a stack of business cards, right? These are all people, by the way. I just left an event yesterday. I have all of these cards. These are people that I spoke to who said, I want to do business with you. I want to know you. I have stacks of these. That's what the gift that I'm giving you for free will do. It will invite people into your world, get you leads, elevate your brand, and get you to connect. And that's what you want to do in the first place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You want your podcast to connect to investors. You want investors to fly you around the world. You want to live a beautiful lifestyle. This is how we do it.
Oh, what? So the people listening, my God, what do they need to do if they want to work with you?
Well, okay. All right. So I do have something for you. Okay. If you guys want to work with me, this is a real challenge, and you should come this Sunday. Well, very early in the morning for you. What time is it in Malaysia now?
10:30.
Okay, so it is 9. So every Sunday, I do a 2-hour live interactive training right on Zoom. I have people around the world. I have people who are in Europe who are up in the middle of the night. It's 5 p.m. here, so it would probably be about 4 a.m. your time, 4 to 6 in the morning. But I will tell you, like Nike said, sleep when you're dead. If you want to meet me live, and here's the crazy thing, I'm going to give it to you for free. I charge for this, but if you want to come for free for one time, go to www.askforbesriley. And I'll tell you what, show up for free and I will play with you. I will show you what we do, meet you right there and do this kind of work with you. I've been doing it every Sunday since COVID happened. It's going to be 5 years in March. How crazy is that? And I do this, Nicolette, because I want to. I don't have to work anymore. I've done very, very well in my career. What I do now is I do a couple of things. I'm in business with my daughter. You mentioned a book I wrote called Pitch Secrets. My daughter is 22. She and I started this online coaching company when she was 17, and she became the CEO and I work for her. It's the funniest thing. We have 16 employees. She pays the payroll. She does the meetings. I work for my daughter, and she's brilliant. And I say that because when she was little, she has a twin brother, but she would always travel with me. And I highly recommend if you've got kids and you want them to be successful, show them your life. You know, I see so many parents when they go to a business meeting or they go somewhere, oh, the kids go sit over there and play on your little Xbox or your iPad. I would bring her into meetings with me. I would have her listen to what's going on. I would bring her to TV shows. We traveled around the world together. And then one day she said, Mom, you know, I've been working for some of your celebrity friends. I've been coding in the back. I've built their landing pages. I put them online. I made their YouTube channels. I'm like, you did what? When did you do that? She said, well, you didn't think that I could, so I didn't tell you. but I have over $100,000 in my bank account. You're 17? What? I was in shock, absolute shock. And she said, if you'll let me and you trust me, I'll build you a company that will make you $1 million in about a year. I didn't trust her. She's 17. She's a high school junior doing COVID in my house. But I said, sure, baby, let's have some fun. We spent 3 weeks together creating my whole courses about pitching, and she got me to really understand that what I do is very systematized and other people can do it. I had 25 people in the first Zoom box. I'd never done a Zoom before. And I charged $1,000 for my training. It was a month-long training. The next morning, I go to my bank account and I said, McKenna, I don't understand. What am I looking at here? She said, what's up? I said, yesterday it said 0. Today it says K. What does the K stand for? She said, what do you mean? I said, it says 25K. Mom, you sold everybody in the room last night your training for $1,000 and you grossed $25,000 in 2 hours. I'm like, what? Did what? We did that again 4 times and we had $100,000. And people talk about a 6-figure business. I did it in 4 weeks with McKenna. And then we got the 2 Comma Club Award, which means one funnel grossed $1 million, 9 months. Oh my God. So she was right. I'm still in business with her. She's very smart. And that's what you get for believing. She has a book that she wants to write called Every Company Needs a Kid. Kids don't see the same rules that we see. Kids don't know what you shouldn't do, so they do it anyway. And sometimes that's where the genius lies. And so it's been very revolutionary. And then she started another business, she's 22, with her twin brother, and they do software together. They create landing pages for everybody now. And they do it very affordably because they watch their mom struggle. And their mission right now, and it won't be this way forever, but they're young and they love me, and I'm 42 years older than them, and is to make my dreams come true. It's the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. I don't think that as a little kid, sitting in the dark in my house, being all alone, that I could have dreamed that I'm in love with a beautiful husband and 2 great kids who want to hang out with me and make my dreams come true by making other people's dreams come true.
I want to hang out with you.
Come on. I think you're wonderful. I mean, I got a great energy from you. And I'll tell you what, I think I have a lot to offer at this point in my life. And I love women. I don't know if you notice, but there's not a lot of women in charge. There's a lot of very smart women around, though, a lot of very talented women. But we, in the last couple of generations, depending on where we all live, haven't really lived up to our potential, you know? And it's hard. And I'll tell you what's also challenging, and I want to be a face for this, is it's challenging like you or my daughter when you're young and beautiful. Older men don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
And you need to understand that that will always be the case and use it to your advantage. You don't need to cut your hair short and dress like a boy. For the longest time, I love being very glamorous, but I also love being in charge and very strong. It's not always easy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And you also learn as a woman to play the game. There's a little thing about men being the alpha thing, right? So when you got an alpha man and you want to get your way, you don't come in as the alpha girl because you won't win. You come in as a little bit softer, understand how to manipulate, make him think he's a little in charge, and just get what you want and move on. But in the male-female thing, it's a little challenging because I do not think it will ever change. I think it's part of our nature as animals, as men and women animals that procreate to make babies, you know?
Yes.
That we are the physical weaker sex, and that's okay because we're definitely the smarter sex. Just don't tell them that.
For sure. Oh my God. I want to meet you. I want to meet your kid. I want to meet McKenna.
You know what? Well, I'll tell you what, let's get McKenna. I promise. We'll schedule a talk for her because I promise if you
Yes.
interesting, you have not seen anything.
Yes, I would love to have her on my show.
I would love the world to know who she is because she's, you know, and to meet her now, can you imagine meeting Bill Gates at 22, knowing where he's going to go, or Elon Musk at 22?
Yeah.
And there's something about them. That's how I feel about McKenna in business. I watch what she does. I watch how smart she is. I watch how she leads teams. I'm not a team leader. I'm like the little visionary girl. She is like, get it done, systems oriented. She's hard. It's like, wow, where did you get all of that?
Where'd you learn all of that?
I'll tell you what, two parents.
Uh-huh.
You know, I will say that in life, probably one of the greatest gifts a kid could have is to have two people who just love them. That is not typical in today's world. We have parents who are so busy trying to make a living. We have parents who are so frustrated with mental health that they may be absent for whatever reason. But if you are the product of two parents who just loved you. Now, it's not perfect. My husband and I are not together. We've split up. My parents stayed together their whole lives, but we both raised them very consciously. He is a very strong, very tall. He's 6'6". He's a head taller than me. Former football player, and he's a tough guy. So my daughter had to deal with a guy who's really tough, who's a lot taller than me. He's the tallest guy in every room we go into. So she learned to be a fighter. She learned how to wrap that guy around her finger. Then she's got a mom who's well known, who's on television, who is doing her own thing. And she got both of those sides and she paid attention. And I don't know how it happened, but I'll tell you something else that happened. COVID happened. And if she hadn't spent a year and a half with her brother in my house, the three of us, I don't think we'd be in business together. Because she might have left after school, but we were kind of stuck together. And so as much as COVID hurt my heart, I lost my publishing partner. He died. I'm grateful for that time in the world and that we've managed to do what we have. What's one of your hopes for the world?
I want to impact them. That you can pivot at any time.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I know what it feels like to be outcasted.
Isn't that funny? That's what I know about too. And
But you don't seem like it. It seems like you're accepted in every room that you go to.
baby, I fight for that shit like you have no idea. I am twice your age. I've had a lot of time to figure this out. And with that does come experience means a lot. But I just never stopped. I wanted it. I wanted whatever it was. I still do movies. I'm going off the end of this month to film a movie. It's funny. I also,
You know what? You look like Jane Fonda.
no, it's not funny. She was my hero growing up, and I ended up looking
My
like
God.
a hero. I have a picture of Jane and I. I think she's spectacular, but I have,
She is.
but she had a mother who killed herself, and she had a father who was not very available. And that is a wonderful woman who I think got the short end of the stick. She's incredibly talented. But yeah, if you got to look like somebody, I'll take her. But the other thing that she never found, and I'm a huge fan, she never found true love. She was married 6 or 7 times to a lot of very famous, very rich men, but it wasn't what she wanted. And you hear that in her, her energy. She's single at the moment. She's got a couple of kids, but I'm sure she would have loved to have just been loved. So that's one of the things that was very important in my fairy tale. I wanted to be loved and cherished. So I found my man. And do you believe in manifestation?
Yes. Please teach me.
Well,
I believe in it. Yes.
I believe in it because it's real. My whole life has been that. When I was looking for my second husband, my partner, I said that I wanted a whole bunch of qualities. And one of them, jokingly, I said this one jokingly, I wanted someone who looked like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. Have you seen a picture of my husband?
No.
Okay, so I have a little game that I play with all of Nicolette and all of my listeners out there. If you don't say, wow, I'll give you $100.
Wait, can you give me like
No,
who am I?
just look at my husband.
Oh, wait. This is AI, no?
That's my husband.
Hey, what? No, I don't believe you.
Say that it's AI, or we could say that it's my husband. Let's see if he walks in the room and what he looks like, okay? Because I would like to say Malaysia. He's going for a new bodybuilding competition, so he looks like, yeah, come here for a second. Would you like to say hello to Nicolette for me? Yeah, have a seat. Come here. She thinks that's AI, and I don't know if he's AI or a robot.
Wait, what? No.
Real, Joshua? Are you real? No, we're trying to talk about manifestation. What's your take on manifestation? She's in Malaysia, by the way.
Guys, if you are watching this right now, we are.
You're going to be the hottest sensation in Malaysia if we can do this right.
Well, the phrase is, if you believe it, you'll achieve it.
Yep.
So there you go.
So
you need.
When you met me, can you just talk about Spin Gym for a second? She doesn't know anything about that product right there.
No, the Spin Gym.
Yeah.
Well, I use this.
Okay. I'm looking at the Spin Gym. Yes, only the Spin Gym.
Best tool in the world.
Yeah. Like, just really quick, because they don't know in Middle East, how in Far East, how did we meet?
Yes, please. I'm dying to know that.
You can tell her the story. I'm going.
Oh, all right.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Bye. Wait, how did you owe me an explanation, Dr. Forbes? Like, how did you meet? Where did you find that guy? God.
In my hotel room in Las Vegas. He was a fitness model, and I was doing, yeah, and by the way, if you go to his Instagram, I'll put this in the chat because it's worth looking up. Joshua is very real, and he's very extraordinary. And, you know, like I said, if you want to live an extraordinary life, so here, that's his Instagram. And I could be one of the luckiest. Lucky, I don't know. You know, I was 57 when I met him. I'm 65. He's 47. I know it's been a wonderful journey, but you can find what you want if you believe that you're worth it. And I had to go through a lot of self development. But I got to tell you, when that guy walked into my heart, I'm like,
This one looks like Ricky Martin.
I know. It's just like, dude, you got me. You had me at hello. Well, I show you one beautiful picture that I really like.
And your ex-husband? That's you, right?
Yeah, that is me. I'll show you another picture of me. My ex-husband's a football player, and he's he's also.
Can I? This scoop is live right now, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's McKenna?
That is McKenna. Yes.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's blonde and she's tall and she's just yummy. Yeah, and we do love each other, and it's been quite an interesting journey to just be in love with such an amazing girl. But I'll show you my all-time. This is a fun photo. Joshua took that photo. He's a photographer. Who knew? Aside from looking like that, he's also very talented. But my all-time favorite photo of him and I is right here. And it's, you know what, it just defines romance. So I love making you laugh. I think this is so funny. Well, here's another photo. We took some pictures and my girlfriend painted these, and she's
I get one like that.
don't know if I could duplicate him, I would, because everyone seems to like how he looks.
But I know there's more than meets the eye.
He's pretty much just a hunk.
Thank you for being on.
No, trust me, he's a brilliant photographer, 3D graphic artist. He does my video work with me, and he's very smart. He does his own training programs. He's a wonderful, you know, what I did though, Nicolette, is I had to get very clear that I was worth somebody wonderful. And when you put boundaries up and you decide that you get what you tolerate, you stop attracting things that don't work for you. You also understand and work on male and female energy. One of the things about Joshua, and I'll just give this little insight, and then I do have to get going tonight, is that I'm very tough in my business world. I'm demanding. I know what I want. I get it. I'm successful. But when I come home at night, I leave that girl at the door. And I come home as a much sweeter, softer version of me, because he gets to be the big macho guy. And I think that's one thing I did wrong with my ex-husband, is that I was just always tough and he was always tough. And I learned, like, I remember I said the balance of letting the guys win. You need to build his ego up. You need to be a fan. Can't be all about me. And I think we as men and women forget that your job as a couple is to give to him as much as he gives to you, so that you are this beautiful unit, not, oh, I got this and you got that. That doesn't seem to work. And you want to find someone special, but I guarantee they're out there, because you're out there. I'm out there. He's out there. They're there. It's just, where are you looking? Where are you spending your time? What is the man of your dreams doing right now? Is he also hosting a podcast? Is he a fisherman? Is he, you know, it's also an interesting thing to understand what money does to people. You know, I can remember a time in my life where I wanted somebody really, really rich. Well, I met those guys and not really interested in that, because they already had their ways and I didn't fit into that. I wanted someone who I could build a life with. And so you have to be very clear on what makes you happy. I know, I could talk about that all day.
Wow. Dr. Forbes, yes, I'm mindful of it. Thank you so much. Okay, 2 questions. What is your heart's greatest wish?
That I live a long enough time to continue to enjoy all the things that I built. That I am healthy and like my grandmother, who died having her nails done in her own apartment. That I don't ever get sick. I've been there. I've witnessed that. The suffering of that part of your life seems horrible. My greatest joy too is that my kids also continue to live this beautiful life. Life is very fast and very fleeting. I have managed to impact a lot of people. I want to continue to do that. I want to have my books known. I want to be back on stage as an actress. I love doing that. I haven't done that in 22 years since I had my babies. And I just want to continue to wake up every day feeling extraordinary. Because when I do that, the world is your oyster. I've experienced a lot of times when I wasn't so happy. And right now, it is about giving back. It is about seeing the expression on your face and getting you to laugh. All the way around the world, having just met me, makes me feel special and important because as a little girl, I really only wanted one thing. I wanted to matter. That's it. I just wanted to matter. And nobody cared about me. You know, my parents loved me and all, but my friend, there was nobody there. And I was like, I want to do something in this world. Well, I did. I've done a lot of things. And now I just want to enjoy them to no end. I want to make people like you smile and laugh. And I'd like to have millions of followers cheering, just going, yay, we found ourselves, we love ourselves, we're happy. I can't stand the pain in the world and the anger and the frustration and the sexual trafficking and the people using each other. But I also am not naive. The world is a very strange place. People have all their own motivations, and I don't like evil. I don't like people who hurt each other. I like joy and peace and fun. I've lived in the islands down in the Caribbean where you just eat every day the fruit and the fish and you just live. All the rest of this stuff is just so annoying. The politics and the other, ugh. Just want to have fun. Is that okay? Let's just have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to have fun.
Yeah, I know. Great meal, go to bed, kind of hang out, dance to some music. I love dancing. I love roller skating and just enjoy our lives. That's all.
Can I just say I love you?
I love you too. Thank you. So yes, actually, Nicolette, it's been really, I'm going to start to cry. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. You made me feel very special. And that's something I did not have growing up and something I just want. Like I said, tonight I feel like I matter. Tonight I feel like you matter. You were so open and so sweet. And I'm glad that you went through the stuff that you went through. And you should be too. Because without being that outcast, you would never have understood what it means to help others. You know, I grew up and I looked at the pretty little girls in school, and there were a bunch of them. I don't think they turned out any better than I did. In fact, I have a very funny story. The kid, if you peak in high school, you peaked too soon. Like you were the popular kid.
Yeah,
Do you want to hear something funny? I do feel like there's something so blessed around me right now. And I love telling stories. I grew up and there were two little girls in my elementary school. Now I'm 60, this is like 60 years ago. Bonnie Garrett and Susan Warshak. 60 years ago, I know their names. Used to stand by height. They were the two cutest little girls and I was the big ugly one at the very, very end. One of these girls, Bonnie, ends up marrying the class president, the guy who sings in all the musicals. His name was Steve Rosen. The guy, she marries him. They have a wonderful life. They have 4 kids. He's a doctor. And I follow them through the internet. I know they're out there, right? Well, get this. About 3 weeks ago, I'm at the premiere of my new TV series called 60-Day Hustle, the one on Amazon Prime. And this blonde girl comes running up to me. She's like, "Are you Forbes Riley?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "I'm Bonnie Garrett and Steve Rosen's daughter. I wanted to say hi to you." Really? Really? I'm the one on TV. I'm the one that nobody knew was going to do anything. And the fact that that came around full circle was like, is the universe just smiling? Going, that was really freaking fucking cool, right? That was one of my favorite moments in life, going, oh my God. My second favorite moment, I have twins. My parents both passed away. The hardest, worst year of my entire life. Then 9/11 happens. My brother-in-law is in 9/11. 9 of my friends died that day. I'm from New York. It was a crappy year. I want to have a baby. I just want to have a baby. I want it to all feel better, right? And we can't. We had to have in vitro. So the doctor says, hey, let's just start today because you need 6 weeks, okay? He comes to me on March 20th, 22nd. He said, you conceived on March 20th. I'm like, what? He says, you're not only pregnant, you're very pregnant. You're going to have twins. I'm like, really? March 20th is my mother's birthday the first year after she passed away. The doctor then says, I have to tell you your due date. 37 and a half weeks later, or 39 and a half weeks later, your twin babies are due on December 7th. No freaking way. That's my father's birthday.
Or your dad.
The odds of you having twins on those 2 days are astronomical. But that's my story. And you're like, I'm just going to take all the little blessings, because I don't think that we notice the little blessings in life. The little signposts that let you know you're in the right place. Today, you're in the right place. You met somebody who's going to inspire you for the rest of your life because you did a podcast. And you did a podcast because whatever reason, right? And you did it the way. All of those things, when you start to look back and just cherish those moments and decide, okay, if I am special, if I am supposed to have all the beautiful things in life, I want a man to share that with. What does he look like? What does he do for a living? What kind of sense of humor does he have? Figure that out, and I'll tell you what, when you meet him, you'll know it.
You are a walking miracle.
Back at you. Baby, believe me. I know it took a lot for you to be here. And it shows. And so let's go make some miracles together. Let's figure a way to get to Malaysia. Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, my new book is coming out. I would love to. I've never been to Malaysia. I've been to China once to work on this, but I haven't been.
I was just in New York last September, and I love it.
Really?
And I
what
would
were you doing
love
there?
to come. I'm coming back.
What were you doing in New York?
Funny thing, I was just meeting up with my podcast guests for potential collaboration projects. I want to do retreats. I want to do speaking events.
Good, let's do it. All right, well, come on Sunday. Get up early in the morning and let me see you on Sunday. Come meet my community. Let's see how we can help you. And on that note, you guys, free gift from Forbes Riley. It is late. I'm going to go back. There's a really cute man waiting for me in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
He's not wearing.
I can attest, yes, we do not want to wait. Okay, I'm just going to close it, Dr. Forbes. There you have it, everyone. This is Dr. Forbes Riley. You've just heard an inspiring journey and incredible wisdom. Thank you again, Dr. Forbes, for sharing the work that you're doing to uplift others and make a lasting impact. Despite all the challenges, you're continuing to pave the way for others, and your dedication is a testament to resilience and purpose. And for our listeners, this has been one thought-provoking episode yet again of You're Worthless. Read that again. The juxtaposition of your very soul. Now, if you've ever felt worthless, know this, you're not alone. But here's the deeper truth. If you were truly worthless, why would your soul choose to be here in this exact moment, in this lifetime? Oh. Your soul traveled from the infinite, not just to exist, but to matter. And for that reason alone, you are worthy. I'd like to thank Dr. Forbes Riley for joining us today, and to all of you for listening. Until next time, I'm Nick Naras, your host. Keep shining, keep growing, and remember, you are worthy and you are enough. See you in the next episode. Thank you, Dr. Forbes. Love this episode? Now, transformation doesn't end here. Head on to @holistic.lifestyle_with_Nick. That is on my Instagram. Or head on to my website, www.deniquerasw.holisticlifestyle.com for more info on my coaching framework, which is the Worthy, Authentic, and Abundant Framework, digital guides, and my upcoming events such as retreats and master classes and workshops. Now, I also do intuitive readings where we get to check on your soul